Horror films show us what we fear, in ways that are obvious and in ways that are subliminal. Karyn Kusama's 2009 film, Jennifer's Body, written by Diablo Cody, spooks audiences with graphic visuals of gore and blood, but the sexual undertone of the film is what truly scares some viewers. In Barry Keith Grant's essay, Screams on Screens, Paradigms of Horror, he states that horror movies exploit timeless themes of sex and death, the self and the soul, and our own beastly inner nature, fears that exist within our subconscious. Later in the essay, Grant references Harry Benshoff's argument that dominant ideology has depicted homosexuality in such a monstrous fashion that gay desire is seen inevitably as existing within people, and gay desire runs rampant in Jennifer's Body. Kusama and Cody intricately plant themes of queerness and homosexuality throughout Jennifer's Body, through momentous camera shots and transitions, as well as parallels between the two main characters, Needy and Jennifer. As Jennifer's Body follows high schoolers at school, at home, and on their excursions, at first glance one might mistake this film as a frilly rom-com rather than a horror piece littered with blood, gore, and themes of consent and homosexuality. This film follows Needy, played by Amanda Seyfried, as she discovers that the murderous boy killer haunting her hometown is actually her best friend turned demon due to a fluke in a sacrificial ritual by an indie band, Low Shoulder. Needy does eventually get revenge on Jennifer, played by Megan Fox, for killing her boyfriend, Chip, as well as revenge on Low Shoulder for killing her best friend. It's obvious that Needy's character is a female portrayal of an anti-hero, a classic noir trope usually played by men, as she investigates why her best friend is suddenly acting so strange. Though Jennifer could be deemed as simultaneously the femme fatale and the villain, the true villains of this film are Low Shoulder, because Jennifer isn't killing people. She's killing boys. We can see Jennifer's femme fatale aura depicted in scenes where only pieces of her body are shown. As you can see, Jennifer's Body, the title of the film and the main marketing tool, is always teased, but it's never fully displayed. In scenes such as the seduction of Jonas, right before Jennifer feasts on the football player, and directly after the fact when she's swimming in the lake, Kusama applies this classic noir trope of only showing bits and pieces of the sexy femme fatale to further enforce this mystique upon the character. Interestingly enough, in an interview with Fox and Cody from about 2019, Cody actually discloses to Fox that the role of Jennifer was always meant to be played by her because of this beautiful, glamorous mystique that she holds. As Jennifer is the spectacle of the film, she's also the spectacle of Needy's gaze. While at a high school sports game, Needy applauds Jennifer while she's cheerleading, and a slow-motion dolly zoom is used to enforce this infatuation Needy has with her sandbox love.
We're totally lesbi-gay.
Later, when the two go to see Low Shoulder at Melody Lane, the same exact shot is used when zooming in on the toilet in the establishment, which is later used for the girls to climb out of the burning building. Although Needy may think that she had just saved their lives, climbing over that toilet may have done more harm than good, just as Jennifer does more harm than good as a friend to Needy, even before the sacrificial ritual. Flashbacks matter in this film. When Needy has a flashback to when her and Jennifer were just children, a white fade is used to transition to the shot, indicating purity and innocence. In this flashback scene, a young Needy kisses the bloody hand of a young Jennifer, telling her that she would never tell on her.
I never tell on you.
As this scene really does enforce the bond and the loyalty Needy has towards Jennifer, it also reinforces the unconditional love Needy has for Jennifer, which, though disguised as platonic, reveals romantic feelings towards Jennifer in their teenage years. Contrasting the white fade to purity, the flashback scene in which Jennifer describes her adventure with Low Shoulder uses a dissolve fade. This dissolve fade fades into a dark, low-light scene in the woods, not only accurately depicting the set in which Jennifer was sacrificed, but also indicating that this is a bad memory for her, as she was brutally murdered by a group of men. In the scene in which Jennifer is being actively brutally murdered by the frontman of Low Shoulder, the motion on the screen is extremely distorted, showing the audience the disorienting feeling of fighting for your life. To add to the gayness of Jennifer's Body, it seems as though Jennifer deliberately seeks out boys that Needy has a connection to. In the scene where Colin attempts to ask Jennifer out, Jennifer declines, but only until Needy says that she actually likes Colin and thinks that he's a cool guy.
Colin's really nice.
Jennifer is then eager to invite Colin over under the premise of a date.
Wait, Colin.
Why don't you just come by my place tonight? I just got Aquamarine on DVD. It's about this girl who's like half sushi.
As we see throughout the film, and especially in the last 20 minutes or so, Jennifer is continuously commenting on her attraction to Chip, Needy's boyfriend.
Hi, Chip. Hi.
Even going as far as lying about Needy's disloyalty to him so she can seduce him for herself.
Needy and Colin were intimate. And by that, I mean they were porking on a semi-regular basis.
Targeting the boys that Needy is attracted to is an obvious indication of Jennifer's desire towards Needy. It's common for queer women, especially in the questioning phase of discovering their sexual orientation, to have trouble distinguishing between wanting to be with someone and wanting to be someone. Needy comments on Jennifer's insecurity during the pool scene, but this theme goes a bit deeper than just a jab at Jennifer's self-esteem.
Why, Chip? Is it just to tick me off? Or is it because you're just really insecure?
There's no question that Needy is intrinsically connected to Jennifer. This is shown when Jennifer is feasting on Colin and Needy hallucinates the bloody, inhuman Jennifer while she's having sex with her boyfriend. We see this when Jennifer is kissing Chip outside the formal, when Needy, inside the formal, touches her lips because she can paranormally feel Jennifer kissing her boyfriend. Jennifer even says to Chip, "Say I'm better than Needy."
Say I'm better than Needy.
Because if she can't really be with Needy in a relationship, she wants to be her. Coming home after both her hallucinations and seeing Jennifer walk across the road like a deer, then pounce on her windshield, Needy cries out for her mom because she's scared. Mommy! Mommy! This is foreshadowed by an earlier scene in which Needy's mother is telling her about a dream she had where Needy was staked to a cross and being killed like Jesus Christ.
Just like JC.
This scene also foreshadows what we see of Jennifer's night with Low Shoulder. Jennifer is bound to a stake and sacrificed to Satan so an indie band can become famous. Needy gives in to the temptation that is Jennifer, as we see in the overmarketed clip of the two kissing, but quickly backtracks when she realizes that Jennifer is not a good person. She is killing people, urging Needy to cheat on her boyfriend with her, and continuously belittles Needy to feed her own narcissism. Though Jennifer is a toxic friend, Jennifer's body does an incredible job at depicting the emotions that bubble up within girls as they discover their queerness through close relationships that verge the line of platonic and romantic. Discovering that your own sexual orientation diverges from what is considered normal can be a scary experience. Hence why so many horror films depict villains as gay, if not outright, blatantly flamboyant. It is important to showcase vulnerable queer stories of the female experience. And though Needy killing Jennifer could be seen as her turning a blind eye to her own homosexual tendencies, the fact that she escapes prison to get revenge on the men that killed her best friend showcases that she still has love for Jennifer. The non-demonic Jennifer, that is.